2 million Britons have initiated something truly extraordinary, a moment etched in modern history with unprecedented significance. Now, the weight of the nation rests upon King Charles, who faces an imminent 48-hour deadline to make a decision that could fundamentally reshape the very essence of the British monarchy. As you watch, Britain teeters on the precipice of its most profound constitutional crisis in over 2 centuries. The current government is grappling with approval ratings that have plummeted to historic lows. Fueling this turmoil is a public petition that has shattered every political record in the UK, amassing signatures at an astonishing rate. At the heart of this storm is the monarch, King Charles, caught between 2 seemingly irreconcilable choices: uphold the principles of democracy or risk jeopardizing the crown's future. This isn't mere speculation or conjecture. These dramatic events are unfolding in real time, within the hallowed halls of power, behind the imposing gates of Buckingham Palace, and across the bustling streets of Britain's major cities. To fully grasp the gravity of this situation and understand the potential paths forward, we must trace the story back to its origins, recognizing that events are evolving at breakneck speed, with each new development carrying the potential to alter everything. Just 3 weeks ago, the situation appeared to be nothing more than typical political unrest. Approval ratings were declining, ministers were facing scrutiny, and Westminster was weathering criticism, all familiar challenges in British politics. But then, a spark ignited the powder keg. A petition appeared on Parliament's official website, making a straightforward and compelling demand: call immediate general elections. Within a mere 24 hours, 100,000 people had affixed their signatures. In the subsequent 48 hours, that number surged to 500,000. By week's end, the petition had garnered a staggering 2 million signatures. Instead of losing momentum, the movement intensified, reaching 3 million, then 4 million, and ultimately surpassing 5.2 million signatures, with the count continuing to climb. This figure exceeds the combined populations of Scotland and Wales, signifying that nearly 8% of the entire United Kingdom has taken direct action. This is no fleeting online fad or ephemeral trend, it is a powerful nationwide outpouring of anger, a movement of such immense scale that no modern government can afford to ignore it. Inside Downing Street, a sense of panic is reportedly taking root. Advisors describe an increasingly fortified atmosphere, with staff working grueling 18-hour days in a desperate attempt to contain a crisis that is rapidly spiraling out of control. The Prime Minister's approval rating has plummeted to a mere 18%, the lowest ever recorded for a UK leader in modern history, even lower than during the Brexit paralysis, lower than during the height of the expenses scandal, and lower than anything seen before. Yet, one figure overshadows all others. A staggering 73% of the public now believes that the government has forfeited its right to govern. In essence, nearly 3 out of 4 citizens are declaring their own government illegitimate. This is not a mere dip in popularity, it is a catastrophic collapse of legitimacy. What distinguishes this crisis from all others is the pervasive influence of the internet and social media. The sheer scale of engagement is unprecedented. The #ElectionsNow hashtag has been trending worldwide for 8 consecutive days, generating over 2 billion impressions. Videos posted by ordinary citizens, nurses after arduous shifts, teachers standing in empty classrooms, shopkeepers breaking down in tears, have amassed over 150 million views in a single week. These are not celebrities or influencers, they are everyday Britons expressing their raw emotions and frustrations. On YouTube, independent creators are attracting massive audiences by dissecting government failures. On Instagram, millions are sharing posts demanding accountability. Retirees, small business owners, and healthcare workers are uniting behind one clear and unified message: give us our democracy back. The economic repercussions are already being felt. The pound has depreciated by 4% in a single week. The FTSE 100 has lost an estimated £80 billion in value. Investors are openly questioning Britain's stability. A staggering 71% of small businesses now believe that immediate elections are necessary. Multinational corporations are reallocating assets and putting future investment plans on hold. The Bank of England has issued a stark warning that a full-blown financial crisis could erupt within weeks if political stability is not swiftly restored. Then, the monarchy was inexorably drawn into the vortex. For the first time in decades, protests materialized not only outside Downing Street but also outside Buckingham Palace itself. Thousands of families, parents, children, civil rights activists, and campaigners congregated, holding placards that read, "Charles, choose democracy or be remembered as a puppet. The crown serves the people, not politicians, and whose side are you on?" These powerful images swiftly spread across the globe. King Charles's approval rating has since fallen below 50% for the first time since his coronation, a seismic development. The monarchy's very survival hinges on public trust, and without it, the crown loses its intrinsic meaning. Now, the king finds himself trapped in an unenviable position. If he dissolves parliament and calls for elections, critics may denounce it as a royal coup, shattering over 300 years of constitutional neutrality. However, if he remains silent while a government with only 18% public support clings to power, he risks something potentially even more devastating, being remembered as the monarch who stood idly by while democratic legitimacy crumbled. Protesters are already accusing him of complicity, and some historians caution that this could escalate into the most perilous crisis for the monarchy since the English Civil War. Behind closed doors, King Charles is actively seeking counsel from former prime ministers, senior legal authorities, and constitutional scholars. Reports confirm private discussions with John Major, Tony Blair, and Lord Butler. Yet, even these seasoned figures reportedly acknowledge a stark reality: there is no clear precedent for this situation. This is entirely uncharted territory. Within the palace itself, advisors are deeply divided. Younger voices argue that neutrality in the face of democratic collapse is no longer defensible, while traditionalists warn that any intervention would undermine the very foundation of the crown. They caution that a single misstep could unravel centuries of continuity. International pressure is also mounting. Germany's chancellor has issued a direct warning to the king. France has postponed official visits, citing the prevailing instability. The White House has called for accountability, and NATO has requested briefings. The world is watching with bated breath. In Westminster, preparations are underway for a vote of no confidence, which the government is widely expected to lose. Under normal circumstances, that would lead to resignation and fresh elections. However, there are reports that the Prime Minister may refuse to step down, dismissing the result as capitulation to mob pressure. Such a move would trigger a direct deadlock between Parliament and the executive branch, thrusting the king into the very eye of the storm. Across Britain, protests are intensifying daily in London, Manchester, Birmingham, Cardiff, Glasgow, and Belfast. Families, veterans, and students are marching side by side, while police remain on high alert. Organisers are planning a Democracy Day, a nationwide strike affecting transport, healthcare, and schools. Analysts warn that it could cost the economy as much as £15 billion in a single day. Inside Buckingham Palace, multiple drafts of a potential national address are reportedly being prepared, each outlining a different course of action: call elections, remain neutral, or attempt an unprecedented middle ground. No one yet knows what the king will ultimately say. This is no longer simply a political crisis. It is a crucial test of whether Britain's institutions can adapt and survive in the digital age, and whether monarchy and democratic legitimacy can coexist when public trust begins to erode. King Charles spent a lifetime preparing to wear the crown, but nothing could have adequately prepared him for this moment. His decision will define his reign, shape the future of the monarchy, and potentially alter the trajectory of British democracy itself. The next 48 hours could fundamentally reshape the country. As the nation holds its breath, speculation is rampant. Political analysts debate the king's possible choices, historians examine the unprecedented nature of the moment, and citizens across the United Kingdom brace themselves for the consequences of a single royal decision. Newspapers publish front-page editorials, social media explodes with predictions, and every major broadcaster provides round-the-clock coverage of the unfolding crisis. Every second matters, and every statement, every gesture, and every decision could tip the balance between a peaceful transition, constitutional chaos, or the further erosion of trust in institutions that have stood for centuries. Meanwhile, ordinary Britons continue to make their voices heard. Crowds grow larger by the day, online petitions continue to surge, videos continue to go viral, and hashtags remain firmly entrenched in global trending topics. The palpable energy is undeniable. This is a people-driven movement unlike anything seen in modern British history, a clear demonstration of how digital connection can reshape democracy in real time. Economists warn that markets remain on edge, businesses are uneasy, and the nation's economic stability is balanced on a knife's edge. Inside Buckingham Palace, tension has reached its zenith. King Charles continues to consult quietly with advisers, meticulously weighing legal precedent, constitutional duty, and the profound moral responsibility of safeguarding democratic legitimacy. Every option carries profound risk. Acting decisively could be portrayed as political interference, while remaining silent could allow a government with almost no public support to continue governing. And the clock is still ticking. Just 48 hours now separate stability from chaos. Across the country, schools, hospitals, and businesses are bracing for possible strikes and nationwide disruption. Citizens, united by concern and a glimmer of hope, are prepared